Alright, everybody. Hello and good evening. I have to make sure everyone's still connected. Hopefully everything's good. And hopefully I'm coming through okay. I have to reboot. Okay, yeah, mix-up needs to be rebooted. Hang on. I didn't hear that TTS go through either. Alright, that's working. Please tell me you heard that. Okay. anyways, where we last left off, we investigated more of the circus, and we found out that there is another person or persons involved in the form of one Acro, aka Sean Dingling, and his brother. Ken Dingling. His brother Sean Dingling is in a coma, and both of them were involved in some kind of accident about 6 months ago, and it could be our big lead in this trial. Let's get to it. Good morning, Max. Oh, yeah. Good morning, sweeties. You don't seem like your usual sparkling self today. I'm always like this before I go in front of an audience. I'm working up to it. Tee. Don't get nervous, Maxie. Here, have a glass of milk. That's a carton of milk, not a glass of milk. Also, why do you have that? Regina. How fabulous! My sweetie pie princess! You came to watch my performance today? Of course I did. Mel told me that I should come and watch this. Who said that? So, what kind of performance will you put on today? Let me guess, you'll fly at the end? It's not that kind of show. Isn't that right, my sweeties? Huh? I think my sweetie pie princess doesn't... yeah, she doesn't seem to realize what's going on, or even where she is. Well, Max, it looks like it's time to raise the curtain. I'll see you later. Today I'm just a member of the audience. Fabulous. Enjoy yourself out there. Good luck, Max. You're the best. Gina's different, don't you think, Nick? That's an understatement, Maya, and she's been... I've kind of questioned that this entire damn time. Top of the morning to you! Everybody, let's get ready to get stuck in legal limbo. How low can you go? Mo. Top of the morning to you, Governor. Top of the morning? That's the ticket. Attacking the day starts with energy in the morning. The early bird gets the worm, but then again, worms lack higher brain function. Here, Max, I brought you a present. Have some milk. Oh, my. What is with everybody with the milk? So, how are you today, Bright? Well, I've got the feeling that today I'm gonna face off against the real culprit. You mean Acro? Huh? You think he did it? Be careful. He's used to putting his life on the line. Literally. He's got guts to spare. If all I've got to worry about is how thin the tightrope is, I'm used to it already. It just means that I won't be able to press him like I can other witnesses. What are you gonna do then, Nick? I guess today we'll just have to do without our usual psychological warfare. Today we rely on evidence. It's the only way we'll get past Acro and to the truth. Right, but it's gonna be tough. Anyways, I want to make sure that Regina sees it all today. It's important. Then she'll finally have to deal with the reality of what happened to her father. You want us to make sure Regina watches? Yes. That's why I brought her here to court today. What's that supposed to mean? She needs to know that when people die, they don't just become stars. Maybe I may be an old-fashioned clown, but I don't believe in people becoming stars. Court is now in session for the trial of Maximilian Galactica. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Very well. Ms. Von Karma, you may proceed with your evidence. The prosecution would like to revise its previous theory of events.
What's the meaning of this?
We have discovered a new witness, or shall I say, a new eyewitness. One that saw Maximilian Galactica fly off from the scene of the crime.
Order! Order! I had a feeling something like this would come up.
Due to this revision, we are now prepared to explain how the defendant flew that night. An explanation the prosecution will present if the need so arises. In fact, my detectives stayed up all night creating a mock-up of the scene on my orders. What gumshoe.
Very well. Please call your witness to the stand.
Time to get to work, or shall I say, time to walk the courtroom tightrope. Name and occupation. Pin Dingling, but everyone calls me Acro. I'm employed as an acrobat at the Big Berry Circus. Where were you at the night of the crime? I was in my room that night. I forgot what voice I gave him. If you look at the map, you will see the witness's room is near the crime scene. My room is on the 3rd floor. Crime scene is below my window. The night of the crime, the witness saw something quite shocking. Could you tell us what you witnessed? Okay. It was just after 10 p.m., and I was resting in my bed. Around that time, I heard a large thump noise from outside the window. Then a few minutes later, I saw someone flying right by my window. It was Max Galactica. Only I saw him from behind, but that's who it looked like. To be honest, when I saw that, I thought I was dreaming.
The witness's testimony matches up exactly with that of the clown.
If that's the case, there is very little the prosecution need add. All that's left is to explain how the defendant disappeared into the sky that night. Before we get that far, I'd like to cross-examine the witness. A foolish choice by a foolish fool who wishes to feel the foolish sadness of a sad fool. A man must know the proper timing for things, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Just like your old friend, Mr. Miles Edgeworth did.
How dare you say his name? Mr. Wright, do you have a problem with the witness's testimony?
In the words of Miss Von Karma, may I quote yesterday's proceedings? There is no way that actually happened.
Very well. You may proceed with your cross-examination.
You said that you were resting in bed? One would thus assume that you turned the lights off in your room, correct? That's correct. But there are safety lights around the outside of the lodging house. It's so bright sometimes it can make it hard to sleep.
If that's the case, wouldn't it be a good idea to close some curtains?
I never really thought of that. I guess that means I'm off to buy some curtains.
Sometimes I do make myself useful in these chambers.
Ow! The witness will proceed with his testimony. Your room is on the 3rd floor, right? Yes. And you said that you were resting in bed? That is correct. But you were still able to hear a sound from outside. I was indeed. Pressing Acro doesn't need to get results. Maybe something was contradictory in what he said just now.
What's the matter, Mr. Wright?
Nothing, Your Honor. Until I can find a clear contradiction. I should tread lightly. Are you sure it was a human being? could have been a mannequin or perhaps a large action figure.
Well, setting aside the possibility of a mannequin, an action figure is... Son of a bitch.
You have no need to mince words with Mr. Phoenix, right? Testify to the truth and only the truth, just as if it were there with you with that night. Just as if just if we were there with you that night. I know how to read.
I believe it was a human.
Damn. Just strengthens his testimony. I wonder if Echo's statement jives with the facts. The light in your room was turned off then, right?
That's true. I was going to bed after all.
So with the lights off, you were still able to clearly see a human fly by your window?
The safety lights lit things up enough for me to see. But honestly, there was only enough light for me to see the silhouette outside my window. It was the person's back, so I could see the white roses. So I couldn't see the white roses on the front.
Did you see any of the other symbols?
I clearly saw the silk hat, as well as the cloak wrapped around his body. I'm convinced that the person I saw was Max Galactica. The more I press on, the less results I seem to get.
We'll go through all of them first. When did you start thinking that what you saw wasn't a dream?
Objection!
That's not important.
Objection!
I believe that the prosecution has done a bit of maintenance with the witness's memory.
Just to make sure, let's ask the witness.
Ow! Objection!
Sustained.
Don't sustain that! Echo must be lying about what he saw, right? Of course he is. Now the challenge would be to expose his lies in the court. Well, put the pedal to the metal, Nick.
Objection!
No. So we log and start seeing if there's contradictions somewhere with the pressing.
Hold it!
Also, where are these birds coming from?
Hold it!
he saw.
Hold it! Objection! Take that!
Nope. This is... What in the world is this? Ow. What don't I get? Oh, they get penalized for that. Okay.
Hold it!
Here we go.
Objection!
Let's try this.
Take that!
Nope.
Hold it!
Why does he say that?
Objection! Objection! Hold it! Hold it!
Wait a minute.
Objection! Take that!
Here we go. You claim to have seen the exact same thing that most saw that night. Do you stand by that? What do you mean? The silk hat. What about the silk hat? I saw it on Max's head as he flew by my window. Well, you should have tried looking down out of your window that night. That would have been quite difficult considering the state that I'm in. Just looking outside the window was a tough enough challenge for me. That's a shame, because you would have noticed the silk hat found on the scene. That's the ringmaster's hat, right? Afraid not. No matter how you look at it, this is Max's silk hat. Where are you going with this, Mr. Wright? Are you saying that Max has two silk hats? No. This is a handmade one-of-a-kind model made only for Maxima and Galactica. Which means, Acro, you've been fibbing on the stand. Order! Order!
Objection!
As always, it looks like someone just had to open their mouth before thinking. You okay, Nick? Well, I opened my big mouth and now I have to back it up. How about it, Mr. Wright? What would cause this witness to commit perjury in this court today? Your Honor, on this occasion, the defense accuses Acro himself. On this occasion? Accuses Acro? What in the world are you accusing him of? Obviously, they accuse him of the murder of Mr. Russell Berry. Mr. Wright, are you serious? Deadly serious, Your Honor. I think the tricks of the circus have served you well. You seem to have learned how to try and grab at an audience's hearts and minds. Your Honor, don't allow yourself to be swayed by theatrics. Trying to wow the crowd with smoke and mirrors is the oldest bluff in the book. Really? If you don't believe me, just look at the witness. He's calm enough for it to almost be scary. Bird. Bird, stop it. Stop it. Bird, stop it. He's staying rather calm and collected. Mr. Gimlin, do you have any response to the defense's accusation? I don't really need to say a thing, do I? What do you mean? Everyone take a good look at me. I can't even stand up by myself, let alone leave the lodging house. That's true? I understand that Mr. Wright is just trying to help his client. But to do this by accusing me of murder of all things. See? Even a sliver of common sense makes it clear the accusation is ludicrous. He's right. Way to pick on the disabled, you heartless, cruel man! Phoenix is a poopy head! See that, Mr. Phoenix Wright? If you're trying to drum up support from the peanut gallery, that's how you do it. I think that's enough of this little game. I've got a doctor's note to confirm that Acro is unable to stand under his own power. Maybe the defense is planning on making a claim to counter this as well. I can hear the defense now. Acro had an accomplice.
What did you say about this, Mr. Wright? Did Acro have an accomplice? I'm thinking he acted alone on this. Yeah, the only logical accomplice would be in a coma. But I feel like this wasn't directed at the ringmaster. Now then, this must be when we get to hear the name of the mystery accomplice. Not this time, Von Karma. What? You're not going to sucker me into this one. What are you blabbering about, Mr. Wright? There was no accomplice. Acro planned and committed this murder all by himself. Order! Order! What are you getting at?
Way to keep them on their toes, Nick. I'm gonna have to prove how it all fits together. I have to show how Acro murdered Russell Berry. Can you do it, Nick? Can you really do that?
I know what I can't do. Can't stop now. If I stop attacking, I'm doomed.
Alright, then let's do it. Mr. Phoenix writes, if this witness is the killer, then his eyewitness account is all lies, right?
Mr. Wright, I'd like you to clear something up for me. When the crime was committed, where exactly was Mr. Dingling? In his room.
Take that!
He was obviously here the entire time. It's Acro's room.
Pretty simple, eh? Acro wasn't able to leave the lodging house by himself. In that case, there can be only one correct answer. Acro didn't leave his room to kill the ringmaster. What? Are you nuts?
What say you, Mr. Dingling?
It's an interesting theory. That's it. Considering that what you proposed is impossible, yes. That's it.
Mr. Wright?
Yes, Your Honor?
As the witness has stated, your assertion is impossible. As he is in a wheelchair, there is no way he could go to the scene or be the killer.
You've got a point. It seemed that you've forgotten once again, Mr. Phoenix Wright. The defendant was clearly spotted at the scene of the crime. That's true. Mo said that he saw Max, didn't he? my question exactly. But Maya, it's still impossible for humans to fly. Do you mind if I ask a question, Mr. Wright? What is it? I understand that's some of your logic, however, how do you think that I killed him? If I can't leave my room, I obviously couldn't wear Max's costume. How did he do it? Ask the next course of this legal buffet. Careful, Nick, if you mess up here. She's right, can't mess up here. I gotta give this one some serious thought. I'm sure that Acro killed the ringmaster. He did it while he was in his room. No doubt about it.
Time to enlighten us as to how Mr. Dingling committed the crime, Mr. Wright.
Nope. Yeah, that's about the same size. So what could have been used as his silhouette could also have been dropped on his head. I'm going to present some evidence.
So what did Mr. Dingling use to commit the crime of the murder against Russell Berry?
Take that!
What's that?
Sure. It is indeed. The problem is with the item that's shown in the picture.
This bust?
It's quite a large bust. And because it's life-size, it's also very, very heavy. Heavy? Heavy enough to guarantee a certain death. Especially if it was dropped from a third-story window. Ah! See, this is how Acro was able to kill the Ringmaster. With the force of gravity and Maximilian Galactica's ample bust.
Order! Order! So you're saying the bust fell onto the Ringmaster?
A rather simple crime. Even if you were stuck in a wheelchair, it would be pretty easy to commit.
Objection!
How could you possibly wheel a wheelchair with something so heavy? It's impossible.
Objection!
Giggity.
Well, Acro is an acrobat. He should have more than enough upper body strength to carry something like the bust.
Mr. Dingling, how do you respond to these charges?
Well, Acro's at a loss for words. He should be. He knows that I'm getting close to the truth. Well, Acro, you can't run away. Ow! I'd watch what I'd say if I were you, Mr. Phoenix Wright. What? Your Honor, the physical health of the witness is material to this case. I demand that we get proper testimony from the witness himself.
Testimony, you say?
She's using his testimony as a rouse to stall for time.
Objection!
There is absolutely no need for such testimony.
Objection!
The defense has its version of the murder, and the prosecution has the right to respond.
The defense's objection is overruled.
Why can't you see things my way once in a while?
Mr. Dingling, I'm sorry, but we need you to testify about your physical condition. If you have any doubts about your ability to testify, we can request expert testimony.
The witness will have no problems, however. Let's all be respectful towards him. Thank you. Ugh, that woman will sink to any low to win a case. I suppose I could have lifted something the size of that bust. I have strong upper body from working as an acrobat, and only my legs were injured. However, lifting the bus and looking out the window would have been impossible. There's no way I could have exerted that kind of force on my lower body. That makes it impossible for me to have known the location of the Ringmaster's head. Thus, it would be unrealistic for me to drop the bus on him, don't you think? Unless you use the chest as a target.
I have no doubts in regards to the witness's testimony.
It was impossible for him to lift the bus and stick himself out far enough to look. Not to mention that he could not have known the location of the Ringmaster's head. A single false step would have led to even more severe injuries.
That's what I was thinking. What's your opinion on the matter, Mr. Wright?
I'd still like to proceed with my cross-examination. He's simply stalling. It's shameful, really. I can't let her get to me. I've got to focus.
Hold it!
Have you ever lifted up the bus before? No, I've never actually lifted it up with my own 2 hands. But I should get to it, don't you think? Getting that money outdo me on this. Money? That crazy monkey has lifted Max's bus before?
Please continue with the testimony. Mr. Dingling.
Hold it!
So what have you been doing to keep in shape? Well, honestly, I've given up on training. I don't have any plans to return to the trapeze or the tightrope. You don't say. But no offense, I'm not worried about losing to you in a race or anything. Neither am I, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I wouldn't lose either, Slowpoke. I mean, Nick. Whoa, whoa, whoa. How did this discussion turn to me all of a sudden? I suppose you could say that I'm stronger than the average bear.
Hold it!
And why is that? Because if I were to do that, I'd end up falling out the window myself. I still haven't got much feeling back in my legs yet.
So you say you couldn't have thrown that bus out of the window?
Hold it!
How long do you think the recovery will take? You have to remember that my nerves were severely damaged. I'm currently undergoing some extremely intensive rehabilitation, but it's still going to take a while before I'm back to 100%. Let me remind you of another very important point. If the witness was carrying the bus, he would not be able to see out below the window.
Hold it!
Why do you say it would be impossible? Allow me to explain. You accept that if I was carrying the bus, I couldn't see out below the window. Thus, there is no way that I would know the location of the ringmaster's head. Well, I suppose you got a point. Hey, Nick? Huh? What if you turn things around? Maybe if you think of sort of like this. If he knew the location of the ringmaster's head and he could drop the bus, that's exactly what I was thinking. It does make sense. If only get a proof somehow. If all you had to do was to drop it, then it wouldn't have been a problem at all. If all I had to do was drop it, you're right. I could have done that. However, there was no way that I could land directly on the ringmaster's head.
That kind of makes the theory a bit pointless, doesn't it, Mr. Wright?
Heck, it was strong enough to lift up the bust. The only problem is how you could have aimed for the ringmaster's head. What if you use some kind of tool to aim for the ringmaster? That's the ticket. Either it has to be the box or a picture of it.
Objection!
Acro, you didn't really need to lean out the window, didn't you? What are you driving at, Mr. Wright? You already knew ahead of the time where the ringmaster's head was going to be. Quite precisely, I may add.
Objection!
You silly hinting at things is pointless, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Enough stalling. How about you show us some evidence? But I did such a good job hinting.
Yes, yes, yes. Hurry up and explain things, Mr. Wright.
Get on with it! Maybe you should take a look at this. The key point is here. The wooden box.
The same wooden box that the victim was found hunched over, huh?
The same. The question is, who placed the wooden box here? Who? When Ben and company saw the ringmaster, they didn't see him holding a box, which means that this wooden box was already placed at the scene of the crime.
I have to admit that your theory makes a lot of sense.
The moment that the bust came falling down was exactly the same moment that the ringmaster lifted up this wooden box. Which means that the answer to all these questions is now crystal clear. You mean,
If the bust were to fall upon the point marked out by the wooden box,
there would be no way that it could miss the head of the victim? No!
Order, order, order! This is unbelievable!
Finally, some of these loose ends are starting to tie themselves up. Now I just gotta keep going. There's only one way to go from here. Forward.
Well, the next question I have is, who placed that wooden box at the scene?
It was Mr. Dingling, of course. He connected it to a rope, and all he had to do was lower it down. Ow! Allow me to whip some sense into you. Mr. Phoenix, right? Ow! 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 The ringmaster's head could have been anywhere when he lifted the box. That's why the box was so specially made. Specially made? Indeed. It had the most peculiar feature, the contents. Do you recall what was inside the wooden box?
There was only a small pot of pepper, wasn't there?
Get on with it! Well, what's the matter? Cat got your tongue?
I don't see any relationship between the head of the location of his head and the box's contents.
No, Nick, you didn't think enough. Okay, so it might have been... the size? No, the specific thing was the weight of it. Small... okay, just a lot of things. 20 pounds, small, strong lock. The box has remarkable weight.
According to the court record, it weighs 20 pounds.
Just to lift up this wooden box would have required...
Oh, I see. One would have to squat down and lift up with their body, wouldn't you say?
That's exactly what I was trying to point out. The box is also very... no, it's said it was small.
The box also has carrying handles on either side, doesn't it?
That's correct. To lift up the box, you'd have to squat down. Which means that no matter who you are, your head will be in approximately the same place. Fool! Does he even bother to listen to me anymore? Oh, he's too busy with his birds. I've heard what you've had to say. I must admit, I'm shocked at your imaginative skills.
Did you do it? Did you place this wooden box in the plaza?
Mr. Wright, I may have a vivid imagination, but I could never have done what he's proposing. What? Mr. Wright, do you recall the original location of Max's bust? Of course I remember. It was on top of the table in the cafeteria.
Then what happened to it?
I'd like you to remember one important fact, Mr. Wright. I could not have possibly leave the lodging house by myself. That means you understand what I mean, don't you? I may very well have been able to drop the bus from my room. However, how would I have gotten the bus from the cafeteria to my room? You see, Mr. Phoenix Wright, explain that. Don't forget, you said there was no accomplice. The monkey? Tell us exactly how the witness could have carried the bus from the cafeteria. Yep, we definitely have a problem here. This is no place to get perplexed. Gotta get my wits about me and prove how things happen once and for all. I guess you'd probably say it's pretty shiny. The monkey did it.
Take that!
A monkey?
Everyone knows Money. He loves shiny objects of any size.
Oh, like when you stole the ventriloquist's ring.
So, are you saying that the witness had a monkey steal the bust? Of course he didn't order the monkey to steal it. The monkey stole it on his own, and then brought it back home. Money lives in Acro's room.
Acro's room?
Objection!
But the bust was bronze. It wasn't... The bronze isn't all that shiny.
Objection!
Maybe you should put the whip down sometimes and read the court record.
My, those are some very nice cards he's holding.
Yes, and they're made of platinum, which is very shiny. What? Acro. Money is a strong monkey, right? It'd be easy for him to bring that bust back to your room. If he wasn't able to handle it himself, I'd be on the market for a new roommate.
Order! Order! I said order! Miss Von Karma! Where is the bus in question at this moment?
I don't know. We're searching for it as we speak.
This is a rather strange turn of events. But let's say that the monkey had not stolen the bust. What would have happened then?
Well, in that event, something else would have been used as a murder weapon. Wait. Didn't you mean this bust is a murder weapon purely by accident? It's possible. Maybe Acro saw Money's mountain of stolen goods and thought to use one of them. Put the monkey on the stand. Anyways, I think we are more than proven one critical fact. Namely, that it was entirely possible that Acro was the murderer. Moron!
Mr. Wright's argument was so circular I'm still a bit dizzy. However, his argument does hold water. There's no denying that. Ow!
Don't seem so flamboozled, especially by this fraud of an attorney. Fraud? You've forgotten the most absolute and most important thing, Mr. Phoenix Wright. And what's that? You should know. You forgot that your fraud of a magical client was spotted at the scene of the crime. There is no reason to doubt the clown's testimony.
That's true. How do you respond to that, Mr. Wright?
Nick, don't let her beat you now. I won't. This is my chance to turn this trial around. The murder occurred due to two people at the scene of the crime. One was the victim, but Russell Barron, the other was the murderer himself. Answer this and only this, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Who was the murderer the clown saw? The bust.
Take that!
He saw Max. Ow! I asked who was the other person Mo saw on the scene. That evidence has nothing to do with the question.
Objection!
Au contraire, mon frère. Did I say that right? I'm not very good with French. It does indeed have something to do with the question. Mo said that he saw Max's silhouette. But he did not actually see the man himself. It wasn't a human being he saw.
How was that possible?
It's simple, really. What Mo actually saw was that night was Max's bust. What are you talking about? Have you tried using your brain at all in this case? The silhouette he saw was wearing a cloak. There's no reason why you couldn't attach a cloak to the bust. It would be easy to hang one of the cards. It would be easy to hang one off the cards in the bust's hands. Idiot! Who in their right mind would put a cloak on a bust? Doesn't matter who put it on the bust.
Just a minute now, Mr. Wright. Who put the cloak on the bust? The question is one of the utmost importance in this case. Don't you agree?
Nope, he caught me.
So let's have it, Mr. Wright. Who put the cloak on the bust?
Wait. Ben saw him wearing the cloak. So it wasn't necessarily put on, it might have been caught on it.
Fool. Him?
You're saying it was the victim himself, Russell Berry?
That's what I'm saying. I mean, the victim himself placed the cloak on the bus? No, not might have been caught on it. Placing the cloak isn't really the right way of putting it.
What would be the right way of putting it, Mr. Wright?
Explain yourself! Nick, do you really have a handle on all of this? I'm fine, Maya. I'm finally putting all the pieces together. There's really only one picture I can paint anyways. Alright, so you want to know what really happened that night? Let's step back in time. Acro used the rope to lower the wooden box onto the scene. He then attached the rope to the bust, and dangled the bust out of his bedroom window directly above the wooden box. At the same time, the ringmaster told Max to wait in his room, and went to the scene. Of course, at the time, the ringmaster was wearing Max's costume. Perhaps he didn't want anyone to recognize him that night. But just as he feared, he was spotted at the entrance of the lodging house by none other than the ventriloquist and his puppet, Ben and Trillo. When the ringmaster arrived at the scene, he bent over to lift the wooden box. That's when Acro took his chance and released the rope. Now this is when the magic happens. At that very instant, the bust hit the victim. You just wait a second there, Mr. Phoenix Wright. As much as you try, as much as you scheme, this just isn't true. It can't be. It's still a little early to be getting so upset, Miss Von Karma. This circus isn't over yet. What? The impact of the bus on the victim threw the cloak up, which snagged onto the bust. The impact also caused the sound of a certain witness heard, prompting him to take a look. That witness was, of course, Lawrence Mo Curls, the clown. When Mo looked out his window, the cloak had already snagged onto the bust. Now, having completed the crime, Acro naturally went about pulling up the murder weapon. Of course, he had no idea that Mo saw the bus being raised with the cloak dangling on it, primarily because in his wheelchair he couldn't see out of his window, so he just kept filling the bus up. And that is how the magical murder disappearing into the sky came to be. So you see, the only person who could have pulled this off is the person who was able to drop the murder weapon from above the scene, from above the crime scene. Acro, it could only have been you.
I must go now. My planet needs me.
Acro's been playing mind games with all of us. He sure has. But he has come to the end of his rope now. So, what now? You've graced us with a rather long-winded tale. But do you have any evidence to prove that your fairy tale is true?
Evidence?
In this court, only two things matter. Power of evidence and the power of my whip.
Don't look at the power of my gavel as well. Mr. Wright, the prosecution brings up a good point. You see some evidence.
Nick, they say they want evidence. I just explained how there can only be one possible murder method. But there is still something unusual about Mo's eyewitness account. Unusual? A contradiction, actually. Okay then, use that and get out of this jam.
That's enough talking amongst yourselves. Proceed, Mr. Wright. Send some evidence to the court that backs your claims. When the hard proof that you unraveled the trick to this magic case.
Alright, so what exactly am I proving here? It just kind of flew over my head. It kind of zoned out, like reading back and forth between everybody's thing. Okay, so we've explained the how. Is this the why? Because we have evidence of the why. To prove how it was done. The images of Max performing. I can only think of it being either the promo poster or his Grand Prix photo. It's not exactly him flying, so let's try the
problem is Max's three symbols. You know, the silk hat, the cloak, the white roses.
Those symbols were probably numerous times during yesterday's proceedings.
Yesterday there were two contradictions in Mo's testimony. The silk hat was one, the white roses were the other. Maybe those weren't white roses. But the theory I just presented explains all of these contradictions. You fool, do you ever shut up? Max's silk hat was found at the scene of the crime. However, remember what Mo said yesterday. He testified that the criminal he saw fleeing the scene was wearing a silk hat. There's only one explanation for that. The silk hat that Mo saw was actually the bust's.
Makes sense if you look at it that way. Then he did see the hat, well, sort of.
Fine, you've got one, but what about the other contradiction?
Another contradiction?
Remember that ventriloquist said in court. He said that he saw he witnessed white roses on Max's chest that night. That would be the cloak. But the clown's testimony doesn't match. There were no white roses, because it was on the other side. I'd like to see you try and explain that one away. Of course, I can explain all of it. What was that? Please recall the instant when the cloak snagged onto the bust. If the cloak snagged onto the bust, what happened to the white roses? Do you get it yet? If the cloak got snagged onto the front of the bust, it means that the white roses would end up on the back of the bust. Huh? Which explains why Mo didn't see them. The white roses were not visible because they were on the back side of the bust.
Order! Order!
Sorry, I need some water.
This is quite the shocking state of affairs. Mr. Wright's theory still sounds a bit absurd to me. However, let's just keep going down this road for a while and see where it leads.
Let's do this, Nick. And maybe Von Karma will finally throw in the towel. Well, so much for that theory. Mr. Wright, do you mind? What is it? You took the time to research our circus, didn't you? Well, yes, I did. Is there something making you think that I didn't? If you did, then maybe you'll understand why I think you're off track. Why is that? Motive. Bingo. I got you there. This witness feels an incredible debt of gratitude towards the ringmaster. Anyone with any relation to the circus is well aware of this. Thus, there is absolutely no way someone like this would kill the ringmaster. He wasn't aiming for the ringmaster. Your Honor, I'd like you to hear Acro's story. Learn about his relationship with the ringmaster and his life up until now. What do we do? There's no doubting that Acro deeply respected the ringmaster. Acro's motive.
It seems that this case isn't over yet. Very well. However, I feel this is a good place to take a break. We'll listen to the rest of Mr. Dingling's testimony after recess. This court will now take a 10-minute recess.
I can't believe it. Acro? It's pretty shocking, isn't it?
It definitely is. And to think he was always the most straightforward of the group. Jeebus, am I that hated?
Ahem. Akko tried to pin the murder on you on purpose.
He did?
Psst, psst.
But, I'm nothing but a little old nobody, you know?
But you're not, which is kind of the reason why.
Hey, pal. You're gonna ignore me after all the trouble I went to bring you some evidence?
Detective Gumshoe.
Ah, forget it. I'm going home. This guy deserves to be guilty anyways.
Now, Detective. I'm sorry, look. Why don't you relax a little? You got some really tasty milk.
How about a card trick, Detective? Ho, well, if you insist.
Now, about that evidence you mentioned, what is it?
There you go.
Huh? This was yesterday's the scarf.
Yep, and I've included the forensic results. Take a look at it later.
Won't Miss Von Karma be mad at you doing this?
That's why this is all a secret.
Huh?
Look, details are on a need-to-know basis, and we're not really allies or anything. But everything that's happened in court up until now has gone according to our plan.
I don't know. Miss Von Karma didn't seem in control of things in there just now.
You'll figure it out eventually, pal. Yesterday, our final plans were set into motion.
Final plans?
Uh-huh. That reminds me, I've got a message from the prosecutor for you. Nothing is ever truly decided until the very end. That's it. And that's it for me too, pal. I'm out here.
What did he mean by that? The very end part? I'm not sure. It was all pretty cryptic to me. Isn't that something that Edgeworth would say?
Oh, one more thing.
Ah! Don't scare me like that!
It looks like there's a large care package from the circus for the defendant.
What? For me?
It's milk.
What is up with all this milk?
The reception area looks like some kind of dairy. So hurry up and drink it all before it spoils.
An entire dairy's worth of milk? For me?
Court is now back in session. Miss Von Karma, please continue from where you left off.
We have the dew. Stained with blood and a small quantity of pepper. I got this. I'd like to continue with Akro's testimony, starting with his relationship to the victim. I'd also like to get proof from the defense. Proof of what kind of motive Akro would have to commit this crime.
Understood. Now, Mr. Dingling.
Yes, Your Honor.
Please proceed with your testimony.
Why don't we get to the motive? Wait, Nick, are you okay? Just do me a favor and don't ask questions you don't want to answer to. When we were little, we were abandoned by our parents. That's when the ringmaster of the Big Berry Circus, Russell Berry, took us in. I became an acrobat at around 9 years old. I wanted to find a way to repay the ringmaster. That was my sole purpose in life.
You're such a thoughtful young man.
As you heard, the witness deeply respected the victim. I wonder how anyone could think that Akro would kill the man he held in such esteem.
You're absolutely right. How could anyone think that, Mr. Wright? Which is why there's no real need for a cross-examination, is there?
Actually, that's the question I'm trying to answer myself. Why would Akro kill the ringmaster? This might be my last chance to answer that question. The defense has a right to cross-examine the witness. You're so tactless, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You don't care about justice, do you? You just want to fabricate a motive.
Very well, Mr. Wright, cross-examine the witness.
Hold it!
We. Yes, my brother Sean and I.
What? You have a brother?
How old were you when this happened, Acro? I was 8 years old, my brother was 4.
Times were very cruel, weren't they?
Nowadays, we aren't bitter about what happened to us, because it allowed us to meet the wonderful people at the Big Berry Circus. Nick, the judge is getting misty-eyed. He's got a soft spot for sob stories, it looks like.
Ow!
No crying in court, let's keep going.
Witness may proceed with his testimony.
Hold it!
How would you describe your relationship with the ringmaster? It was like an uncle and a father and a big brother roll up into one. The ringmaster and my brother were the only family I had.
What about the other people at the circus?
This was over 15 years ago. Back then, there were very few customers coming in, so no one really had the time to look after us, or worried about other things. Ringmaster would always come see us with a laugh and a smile. What a beautiful story. That's why I was always thinking about what I could do to help. I wanted to thank him. Nick, isn't Acro such a wonderful person?
I know, he seems like a nice guy, but what makes it so difficult? Well, then how long have you been a performer?
Hold it!
You started off as an acrobat at an early age? At that early of an age? I begged the ringmaster until he finally agreed to let me do it. Ever since then, I've been in incredible physical shape. That's also when I decided to form a group with my brother. We called ourselves the Flying Dingling Berries. I'll let you guys have at it. I'm gonna take a drink of water. It's a household name, or nearly a household name. I've even heard of them in Germany.
Liar!
The point is that I wanted to be of some use in the circus.
You're truly a remarkable young man.
The judge keeps looking at Acro almost like a proud father.
My dingling, I want you to play with my dingling.
Hold it!
Did you ever have any trouble with the ringmaster?
Ow!
How could you ask such a thing, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Do you have some sort of fundamental misunderstanding of the witness's testimony? Or the heartfelt emotions contained within? You better think about this, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You better think hard.
Ow! 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 No matter how you look at it, there's no way I could see this witness ever taking the victim's life.
Exactly. I've been waiting for you to say that, Your Honor. Nick, I hate to say it, but I agree with them. I was trying to chase down the truth, but I just ended up just looking like a jerk.
I think that will be enough for now. Wondering whether or not this man would kill the ringmaster leads me to believe that it is pretty unlikely.
Exactly right, Your Honor.
Mr. Wright, I'd like to ask you a question.
Go ahead, Your Honor.
I would like to just like to know, can you prove an explanation as to why Acro would want the ringmaster dead?
Nick? Yeah, I didn't even have to think about that. It was obvious from the start. Your Honor, the reason that Acro killed the ringmaster is something that can't be proven.
What?
That's because Acro had no reason to kill the ringmaster at all.
Ow!
Foolish attempts to fool us like foolish fools is so foolhardily foolish. Did you forget? You made an accusation against this witness, did you not? I believe it was the real killer of this is the real killer of Russell Berry, the ringmaster. If you want to jump to the end of things, then yes, that sounds about right.
The end of things.
Acro, you didn't plan to kill the ringmaster at all, did you? The ringmaster wasn't your target that night. What did you just say? I'm saying that the target of the witness's murderous plot was not the ringmaster. Because it was never his intention to kill Russell Berry to begin with. What?
Order! Order! Bailiff, I don't care who it is, smack anyone who's loud in the face! Twice if you must! Mr. Wright, what in the world are you trying to do to my court? Ow!
Mr. Phoenix Wright, what in the world are you trying to do to this court? Are you attempting to imply that Acro was trying to kill someone else? Yes.
Take that!
Regina Berry!
This young girl's the ringmaster's daughter, correct?
Acro, you were really aiming for her that night, weren't you?
Objection!
You don't need to answer that. It's a mean-spirited leading question.
Objection!
He could easily answer this question. If I'm wrong, all he has to say is you're wrong. That's it. That's it, huh, Mr. Phoenix Wright?
Enough! Mr. Wright, allow me to— Ow!
Only thing allowed to interrupt me is death itself.
Huh?
And that goes for you too, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Show me the evidence, now! I want to know why Acro would want to kill Regina Berry.
Yes, me too. I demand to see some proof.
Take that!
Acro, you remember this, don't you? It's a piece of paper we found inside the ringmaster's tailcoat.
Inside the victim's tailcoat?
Acro wrote this note. It's ironically entitled, "To the Murderer." Its purpose was to call someone to the plaza at 10 p.m.
So you're saying that he called Russell Berry with that note?
Yes, but there's just one little problem.
Problem?
Acro did indeed place this note into someone's pocket. However, that someone was not the ringmaster. You mean it wasn't for the... That's exactly what I mean. The person this note was intended for was none other than Regina Berry.
Order! 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 Mr. Wright, this little theory of yours—
It's the truth, Your Honor. It isn't a theory. Simply put, Regina didn't think the note was meant for her, which is why the morning of the crime she placed it on the cafeteria bulletin board. That's when her father, the ringmaster, saw the note. That's correct. The ringmaster ended up in the plaza instead of Regina. And he was killed because of that mistake, instead of Regina.
That's incredible.
Remember the testimony Acro gave us earlier today? Lifting the bus and looking out of the window would have been impossible. But it did end up falling out the window, so he didn't see who it was landing on. Acro had no idea who it was that arrived in the plaza, because he couldn't look down out of his window to see who it actually was.
I've got it! Acro thought it was Regina down in the plaza.
And that's when he let the bust fly. Hey, Nick. Is Regina Isn't Regina listening to all of this from the audience? She is. Unfortunately, it's only going to get harsher from here. I hope Regina can handle it.
Acro wrote this note to Regina.
Objection!
Foolishly foolish fool with foolishly foolish fool ideas of foolish fool tomfoolery. You're so foolish. You make me sound like a foolhardy fool. Very well, Mr. Phoenix Wright. If you're so sure, then tell us about this line. I have conclusive evidence of what took place. Yes? What about that line? Well, if the note was meant for Regina Barry, it would mean that this note is declaring that Regina Barry is a murderer. You just don't get it, do you? What? What did you just say? The ringmaster knew what the note meant, which is why he went to the plaza, in place of his lovely daughter.
Oh, hold it right there, Mr. Wright. What is this incident that is alluded to in the note?
Incident 6 months ago. An incident occurred 6 months ago, and now I'm more than ready to show this court what happened at that time.
Moron! Wait, are you sure that it relates to this present case?
It does indeed, Your Honor. Everything in this case has its start in what happened 6 months ago. Really, Nick? I think so. Well then, if that's the case, hurry up and tell us about it. What is this conclusive evidence mentioned in the note? I know I'd certainly like to know what it is. I can't answer that question. The judge is going to think I'm bluffing. It's either the scarf or the pepper. But the pepper was what was in the box.
Take that!
What kind of spicy joke is this, Mr. Phoenix Wright? It isn't a joke at all. It's the decisive evidence you asked for.
What? What do you mean?
Recall that the victim was trying to take the wooden box away with him. He was doing so because this piece of evidence is what was inside.
Another unbelievable conclusion. Very well, Mr. Wright, so what exactly are you saying? You're claiming that Regina Barry killed someone with a bottle of pepper?
Taking that note into account, the only logical conclusion you can draw... Foolish fool who never tires of his own foolish ways. If you're so sure, Mr. Phoenix Wright, to answer this question, who was Regina Barry's intended victim?
Who is this?
That is Acro's younger brother. What does this prove? His younger brother isn't dead. Technically, that's true. However, Bat has been in a coma for 6 months now. It's not a stress to see how Acro could feel that his brother is dead.
Regina, you did that to him?
Do you spend your entire life dreaming up new ways to be a fool? Naturally, the prosecution has looked into Acro's brother, Sean Dingling. 6 months ago, he was bit by a lion and fell into his current comatose state.
A lion?
Miss Regina Barry is an animal tamer by trade. However, no tamed animal in that position is ever trained to attack another human. They wouldn't understand the command. Moreover, Miss Regina could never do something like that. It's just not in her. Maybe not intentionally.
So then what happened to Acro's brother?
He's not the victim of an attempted murder. He's the victim of an accident.
I see.
Now what do we do? No one seems to be going along with your theory. Do you think what happened to Bat was actually an accident? The lion biting Bat was no accident at all.
What?
You're such an amateur, Mr. Phoenix Wright. There's no way that Regina would ever incite her lion to attack another human being. She may not have incited the lion to attack another human being, but Regina is responsible for making the lion bite Acro's brother Bat.
Take that!
That's just a scarf.
Acro. This scarf is something that Bat used to wear, correct? That's right. And who's the one that gave this scarf to Bat? Regina. Regina gave it to him.
Regina?
There's something more than just blood on this scarf, Your Honor.
And what might that be?
Pepper.
Pepper.
Pepper. Regina gave this scarf to Bat right before the accident, and she covered it with as much pepper as she could. And hey, what's with the silent treatment?
Excuse me, Mr. Wright. You've done a good job of fingering a criminal.
Phrasing.
But out of curiosity, what was her crime? Miss Berry gave a pepper-covered scarf to Bat as a present. Where's the crime in that?
Still seems like the judge doesn't get it. Mr. Phoenix Wright. Wasn't it said that the lion seemed to be smiling?
Smiling? The lion was smiling?
Right before Bat was bit by the lion, for a moment the lion's mouth changed and it looked like he was smiling.
Lions smile?
I've never heard of them smiling, however. Lions sneeze.
What?
Leon wasn't trying to bite Bat at all. In reality, all he actually did was sneeze. He sneezed because of all the pepper on the scarf.
What?
You fool!
You've got to be kidding me.
Objection!
What's the matter, Miss Von Karma?
I object for objection's sake. Mr. Phoenix Wright, this theory, you believe it? You really intend to say that this is how this joke of an accident actually happened? Of course I do. It's the truth. The lion sneezed due to the pepper, and that's when Bat lost consciousness. Acro nearly lost his brother to this accident, or this joke as you put it. Which is why he tried to get his revenge against Regina. You foolish idiot! It almost does seem like a terrible joke, doesn't it? Once again, I'm impressed by your imagination, Mr. Wright. To think that there's someone who treats this accident with the respect that it deserves. Are you telling me that what I said was true?
Acro,
You can't mean, with this?
are you confirming the defense's claim?
Mr. Wright, unfortunately, your imagination is not enough to find me guilty of murder. What do you mean by that? The pepper, the scarf, the lion. I see where you're going, but it's a bit hard to swallow. Not to mention the fact that it's even a bigger problem with your theory. There's even a bigger problem with your theory.
What would that be?
The same problem has always been. Evidence. If I drop Max's boss on top of the ringmaster, where is the evidence that proves that claim? What?
You mean the conclusive evidence?
The biggest problem is the murder weapon, or the lack thereof to be more precise. The murder weapon, the bust.
Also, the defense claims was used. That were to be found in Acro's room, and if it was covered in the victim's blood, it would be awfully conclusive in my eyes.
Yes, it would be. Bust. Nick, you've got to do something. This is the last step. If I get this one right, the case is won. We didn't see it in the, place I missed. Defense requests to search the room of the witness, Ken Dingling. What is it now? It looks like you still haven't figured things out, have you? By now you must know the meaning of Von Karma Total Justice. You mean... The Von Karma never leaves anything to chance. We already searched Acro's room yesterday. What did you find? There's no reason to even say it. If we found what you think we found in that room, Acro would not be here as a witness. But the point on it, Max's bust was not in the room. The murder weapon is still unaccounted for. You see, Mr. Wright, the bust wasn't in my room. Furthermore, Detective Dick Gumshoe executed the search by complete surprise. And we took Acro directly to the prosecutor's office after that. End of story. Just wait a second. Something's funny about all this. It looks like you like the final nail to put into my coffin. But, what about the scarf? What about the note? What about them, Mr. Wright? No offense, but the only evidence that is relevant here is that which pertains to the death of the ringmaster. You should know that by now. Do something, Nick. Don't let this case slip away. The bust, where is it now? You're Phoenix Wright. You know where that bust is. I'm sure you do.
It seems that this case has come to a close. The defense's counter-arguments look to have fallen short.
Thank you for your support. I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Wright.
I think that brings to an end the cross-examination of this witness.
Where is Max's bust? The defense needs time to prepare to present its case. I'm sorry, I'm a bit nervous and just bit my tongue. What? We need time to do what? Ow! Why are you the most surprised person here? She's your aide, isn't she?
Do you really have a case to present, Mr. Wright?
What? Are you asking me? Rest is up to you, Nick. Good luck. Hey, wait! You can't be serious. Acrobats always have their lines, don't they? That's how Acro's lived his life up until now. Now it's time for us to walk across our own tightrope. If we don't, we're certain to lose.
Very well, the defense may proceed.
He doesn't have a clue. I don't think he'll be finding one anytime soon. Walking the tightrope of logic, there's no room for a false step. Sink or swim, the only way through is forward. The murder weapon. Where is Max's bust now?
His wheelchair!
He has it with him the entire time! It's obvious the bust is inside this very courtroom.
It's obviously where?
Allow me to pinpoint the location of the bust once and for all. Acro. I'm sorry to ask this, but do you mind if we take the blanket off your wheelchair? I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear you, Mr. Wright.
Well, you are a big guy and you have a pretty big wheelchair because of it. I just wanted to make sure you weren't hiding anything under that blanket. Because it seems to me that it'd be really easy to say, I had a bust under there.
Once again, your penchant for humor hits me where it hurts, Mr. Wright.
I think it's pretty amazing that you can laugh in your position. However, your lightheartedness doesn't change the fact that the bus is under there. We all know that you can't leave the lodging house by yourself in your condition. That proved inconvenient when Miss Karma happened to search your room yesterday. If she had found the murder weapon in your room, it would have been all over. Which is why you had to hide it. The only place you could hide it. Under your wheelchair. Which is why, Acro, I have to ask you again. Would you please remove the blanket from your lap?
Well done, Mr. Wright. Masterfully played.
You fool! How could you?
You've got me. I've been backed by a real bro. Actually, two of them.
Two of them? Maya? Oh.
Miss Francisca von Karma and Mr. Phoenix Wright.
What?
There's just one thing I'd like to know. How did you know to launch a surprise search on my room last night? There were two pieces of decisive evidence, the cloak and the bust. I burned the cloak in my room and threw the ashes away in the trash. Regina always took my trash out every morning, you know. The bust, obviously I couldn't throw that away. When you executed your search, all I had to do was try and hide the bust. And the only place that I could hide it quickly was under this wheelchair. Miss Von Karma, you had things all figured out, didn't you? I was completely sucked in by your calculated strategy. And now to be caught in the middle of the court hiding the murder weapon. There's no way I can escape that. So, you've got me. Well done, Mr. Wright. Well done, Miss Von Karma.
It all makes sense now.
I can't believe that Von Karma thought that far ahead. It's amazing. Uh-huh. You definitely couldn't tell by looking at her. I know I sure couldn't. I can't believe it. Me? Make a mistake? Why did I order a surprise search of your room? If only I hadn't done that.
It seems we have finally arrived at the truth. Acro?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you kill the ringmaster of the Big Berry Circus, Mr. Russell Berry?
Yes, Your Honor. I am responsible for that crime.
Acro.
All my brother wanted was for Regina to like him, and that's why he'd tease her. One day my brother sprinkled some pepper on Regina. She started sneezing so hard, you couldn't help yourself from laughing. That's why Regina thought it'd be funny to get him back in the same way. And that's why she covered the scarf with pepper. I know she didn't mean for anything bad to happen. I know this. She just wanted to make my brother sneeze a few times, too. But I just couldn't forgive her, no matter what. What am I truly guilty of? I'm guilty of never, ever being able to understand her. Your brother became a star. Regina believes in that so purely. That she would laugh innocently when saying that. too innocently. I just couldn't stand it, no matter how hard I tried. That's when you decided to do something about Regina. Oh, dreadful.
Are you saying that you're a victim in all this as well?
No, that's not what I mean. I'm nothing but a murderer. That's who I am. At first I thought I'd kill myself and then pondered giving myself up. But I couldn't just up and leave. I just couldn't. Not yet. That's why. That's why I tried to pin this on Max. Max, I'm so sorry. I just couldn't up and leave yet.
This has been such a strange case. It's almost a reflection of the circus itself.
I'm an idiot. I can't believe it. You beat me. Again.
I believe this case is now beyond any point of possible discussion. Thus, I'd like to declare my verdict. Not guilty.
Look at that alternate universe, Corbo. You're fine.
This court is adjourned.
Fabulous! But to be honest, I can't really be too happy about this. Acro, the Ringmaster, Regina, and Pat. Not a single one of them was a bad person inside, huh? That's a good question, and one I don't know the answer to. Many congrats! But only at max, 1 million of them. Thank you. What's with the vibe in this room? We're just thinking about Acro. No. If you worry about people too much, you'll be like this forever and never be happy. Huh? She's been like this for a while now. It's all my fault. Sweetie pie. Brad and Acro, they're never coming back. Now everyone's gonna split up. Regina, Miss Wright, tell me something. What do you want to know, Regina? Acro said something right at the end. I just couldn't up and leave yet. Does that mean that Acro... is he gonna try and get his revenge on me? Of course he is. No, he's not gonna do that to you, Regina. Are you sure? Are you really sure? I can believe that. Nope. Acro doesn't have any desire for revenge anymore. If that's true, then I want to see some evidence. Huh? I want to know you're not just making stuff about Acro not wanting revenge. I haven't a clue. before his brother.
Take that!
Agro didn't want to get caught for a reason. He wanted to see his brother open his eyes again. That? That's right, Regina. He's still alive, you know. I never knew. Now that Agro's been caught. I know. What? I'll do it. I'll stay next to Bat as long as it takes. Until he opens his eyes, and then until he can meet Acro again. So sweet of you, Regina. Oh, sweet summer child. I'm so sorry, Acro. I'm so sorry, Bat.
Well, hopefully this is enough to give her a little peace of mind.
Hey, Max.
What is it, Mo?
We really put you through a lot, didn't we, buddy? I'm sorry about what happened. So, whenever you'd like to leave us, I'll pay your fee and rip up the contract.
I understand. What a fabulous thing to do for me. I might even leave tomorrow. What's going to happen to the circus now?
That's the big question. Our ringmaster was really an amazing person, wasn't he? Even though he's not here anymore, everyone is sticking together. The staff, the performers. No one wants to leave the circus. That's why I've made a decision.
What is it?
I decided that I will take over as a new ringmaster. I'll turn this circus into the best circus this world has ever seen.
The best circus the world has ever seen?
Don't laugh.
That's quite the goal. Yay, I can't wait. Then I guess that changes things.
Huh?
There's only one thing the best circus in the world ever seen needs. The world's best illusions. Which means this circus needs the best magician the world has ever seen.
Max,
Let's work together and make our circus super fabulous. What do you say, big guy? The greatest show on earth.
I don't know what to say. All I can say is thank you.
Regina, you're gonna help them out too, aren't you?
I don't know.
Maybe the circus would be better off without me.
Talking about Regina, why do you think that I brought you to court today? We've got to work together to make Big Berry's circus bigger than it's ever been.
Mo's right, sweetie pie. It can't be the very big circus without Regina Berry. Max. Meh.
It seems like everything's gonna turn out all right here.
I can't wait to see the best circus the world has ever seen. We'll save you the most fabulous seats.
It'll take us a while to get ready, but I'm gonna order some. I'm going to order special whoopee cushion seats.
I see. What indicates? Yesterday's surprise raid really paid off, just as you said it would, sir. You had it all figured out, didn't you? It was just a theory. If Acro really was the killer, I thought this was the only way it could end. Especially if he was the defense attorney. You mean Mr. Wright? Of course. Well, Detective, my plane is about to leave. As for Mr. Acro's case, you need not worry. I plan to personally stop by the Chief Prosecutor's office as soon as I get back. Understood, sir. I'll be waiting for you, Mr. Edgeworth.
If only I had the freaking Snake Eater fanfare.
just gonna stop it there since I saved. So we'll save that for next week. I'd like to thank you all for joining me tonight for this finale to the third case of Justice for All. So yeah, we'll be starting case 4 on Monday. Actually, which Monday is that? That's next Monday, the 9th. Yeah. Still don't know if I'm going to be doing the following Monday. Not next Monday, but the Monday after. But yeah, something to look forward to. And then we'll tune in tomorrow where we continue with more Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis. And then on Friday, we will finally be back with more Let's Build of the Master Grade Dynamis and our Gundam 00 arc. So, yeah, I gotta give my throat a rest, voice a rest. I need to drink some water, a lot of water. But hope you enjoyed this outcome of the case. I like how it turned out. I had a little bit of a hang up there, like halfway through, and I like to think I hit a little. But yeah. So if you like this, oops, let's knock everything over. If you like this stream, you can head on over to the following links. First link will take you to the Lazy League Discord. You can find the rest of us, such as Oh Hey Mike K, The Backbone, Filmed Off the Gray, and many others in our circle who also stream. A lot of fun stuff that goes on over there. Watch parties, gaming news, D&D talks. Yeah. The second link will take you to the sister site for this channel. You can be able to find more info on other upcoming streams, as well as my archive of all the past streams that I've done, like my first playthrough of Ace Attorney, the first game. And if you got any questions, comments, concerns that you would like me to know about, or any suggestions that you might have for me for future Let's Plays, Retro Nights, or Let's Builds, you can head on over to the contact page and shoot them out to me over there. Alternatively, you can head on over to the scroll down below, or off to the side, depending which platform you're watching from, to find the Blue Sky link. Other links help to support the channel, and other streamers who are connected or affiliated with the Lazy League. They're just ones that I like to watch and follow. Check them all out whenever you can. They're all great. And again, thank you for joining me tonight for this outcome of Case 3 for Ace Attorney Justice for All. And I'll catch you guys tomorrow for some more Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis. Until then, take care, love and hype. Life is good. Good night, everybody.